Good morning. Welcome to today's edition of the Primos Sports Bites for sports that took place on April 28th, 2025 across the world. We start in the United States where the Mets crushed the Washington team by 19 to 5. But the highlight of that was that Brandon Nimmo had 9 RBIs that ties the major league record, had a grand slam and a 3-run homer, and the Mets continued to pile on runs over runs. But on the other side of things, you had a lot of games in baseball. I think you had the Detroit Tigers. I think had 7 shutout innings. Trying to remember Tyler, I think, but anyway, that's where we are. But I think the biggest story was Brandon Nimmo's 9 RBI night against Washington, and in across the pond, all the way to India, the biggest story was this young 14-year-old kid, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who scored 100 runs in 35 balls, which is basically thinking about when you compare that to any American sports. That's like a 14-year-old in playing in a Major League Baseball against some of the top players and hitting like a Brandon Nimmo type of a game. So thinking about that's why I brought up Brandon Nimmo here in terms of comparison, but just change it to 14 years old. This kid has been the sensation of this year's IPL, and he continues to impress. No fear, just goes after every bowler. I mean, in fact, taking on seasoned bowlers from different parts of the world. But that's where we are. And then you have the NBA playoffs in full flow. You got Lakers on verge of elimination. Same thing with the Magic. Same thing with the Bucks. So that's where we are with all these sports. And then the biggest news is the F1 calendar is that you have the Miami. The F1 comes home to Miami, and let's see if Max can establish his dominance. I mean, lately has not been that dominant, but still, I would say, Max is still Max. He's the guy that we want to see. Everybody wants to see, and so I think that's where we are with the F1 today. But it's going to be, stateside. You're going to see a lot of celebrities there, but more importantly, this will be the first race in the United States in the F1 calendar. And I'm sure the tickets are going out for extraordinary prices, but it'll be a fun watching that F1 in the United States during a much more decent time because most of the F1s that we watched so far were 1 a.m. starts or midnight starts. So it'll be good to see that. With that, we wrap up the Primo Sports Bites and looking forward to the recap tomorrow. Thank you.